G'day there people on TikTok. Today I just thought I might make a video about two things today. The first one, and you've probably seen it on the news, is this thing here. His name is Dr. Ash Gordon, if I pronounced it correctly. Some of you may recall if you watched the news or were scrolling through your social media feed a few days ago that this man, this doctor, had his house broken into by Eshays and they were stealing his stuff. They didn't identify them, and then what happened was this man chased them on pursuit, and as he did so, he ended up losing his life. One of the Eshays produced either a knife or a machete and stabbed this guy with it. I'm not sure whether he stabbed or sliced him, and that costed Ash Gordon his life. The good news is that they caught them, but the bad news is, doesn't matter what happens to them, it's never going to bring back this man. From what they said, he was a very amazing doctor. I never knew him, but from what I heard of him, he sounds like a man who was there saving lives, and now he is gone. And I also feel bad for not only him, but the patients, his family, of course, and anyone that knew him, and even those that watched this story about it. I also feel really sad and sorry for the parents of the two alleged criminals that killed him. Getting back to the bit about the parents, I don't know what they are doing, but what kind of kids are you raising? Why has Melbourne become so unsafe? Not just Melbourne, why has Australia altogether become so unsafe? Because I don't think even 10, 20 years ago it was this bad. Well, definitely not 20 years ago. I don't know whether the parents are too high on drugs or they're busy in their phones so they couldn't give a fuck what their kids are doing. And if they didn't teach them morals, then maybe I don't feel bad for them. Maybe they should be locked up as well. Getting back to what I said, like, doesn't matter what happens to them, it's never going to bring back this man. But I do think we need a tougher justice system than what we have got. I'm sure a lot of you might agree with me when I say we all should not be living in fear. But it seems that way we are. Now I'm going to talk about another thing that I also saw on the news a couple of days ago, or maybe when I was scrolling through my social media feed. This is the back of the head of one of the alleged thugs down at Morning Peninsula in Melbourne, Victoria, who pushed an elderly man in his 80s off the pier into the ocean. Luckily he didn't die, but he easily could have. And what makes it worse is these idiots had the audacity to film this and put it on TikTok. It was either on TikTok or Facebook. They did say social media. That's another thing. When you look at Singapore or Malaysia, maybe some parts of Africa, all those countries, if those two did that, they'll not just be put in a nice, comfy jail cell, but they'll be tied to a pole and given a whipping. 10 lashes, maybe 20, maybe 50 lashes, depending on what the court decided. Because in Singapore, crime's almost non-existent. Like, there may be a bit, but it doesn't happen anywhere near as much as what happens here or any Western country. I'm not really going to compare Australia with America so much, because I know America has a lot of problems too, but at least their justice system's more tougher than what we are. Like, if they had watched this, they're probably sitting at home behind their phones laughing at us because of how weak our justice system is. Yeah, we could also be laughing at them for how stupid their gun laws are and the amount of mass killings they have had. But at least they think that they're still better off than we are just because they have a better justice system than what we do. Yeah, so I get the impression that all these things that we hear about on the news now has only sort of gotten this way in maybe the past 10, 15 years. And I reckon it's because, one, a government got in that softened down all our laws. And as we all know, like, I could go and steal a car right now, get caught, and only get a slap on the wrist. And most criminals know that. Even if you do something really serious like rape or murder, you'd be unlucky to even get 10 years in prison. Because I don't think even people that do serious offences like murder get life. Like, they may get 10 years, not to mention they probably get put in a nice, comfy, cosy prison as well. A lot of our politicians talk, but they never do. They always say we're going to bring in harsher laws. It's never happened. Also, I don't think maybe it's the judges too. Like, sometimes there's not enough evidence, but usually they're just too soft because these poor diddy daddums have had a rough upbringing, so I'm just going to lay them off a slap on the wrist. That also annoys me. I also think the parents have to get tough too, because this should not be going on. Another thing I've noticed, like, ever since they took away discipline, and they've even took away some things off the cops, like they made it that back in the olden days, if anyone pinched the car or something, they were taken to a cell and flogged. Like, we're not allowed to do that now. Maybe if we still were, maybe if we even allowed cops to use deadly force on people that do these crimes, we mightn't have so much of this going on. I might be wrong, but that's just what I think. However, it's getting back to this Dr. Ash Gordon. Doesn't matter what happens, like, it isn't going to bring him back, but all I can say is my heart goes out to the families of him and the patients and friends and everyone that knew him. And I hope justice will be served, and I can only hope that these things won't happen in the future. They probably will, because I don't think our justice system's ever going to change. But all I can do is offer my deepest condolences to him and his family. The kids that took the life of this man were 15 and 16. So whoever their parents are, they might want to think what kind of trash they brought into this world. And if they're all right with what they have done, which if they're not, I'm sorry, but if they are, then maybe they deserve to be in prison as well. A lot of the time, maybe they're addicted to drugs too, so they don't know what they're doing or what their kids are doing. But they did a bad job, and their poor parenting has claimed someone's life. Parents need to wake up. So does society. And so does the legal system. Anyway, I'm done for now, but if there's another thing that I want to make a video on, I'll do that later. Enjoy your day now, people.